Good morning. I'm Susan Pertnoy. Welcome to Mosaic, Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's weekly news magazine show. These days, everyone seems to be concerned about millennials, the generation who came of age in the 1980s and 1990s. Throughout this season, we've explored if and how millennials are interested in Jewish life. Today, we'll get expert insight from the co-founder of an organization dedicated to ensuring millennials care about philanthropy. Then, we'll talk to millennials from the Palm Beaches and from Israel who are transforming their communities in ways unique to other generations. We'll be right back with Mosaic after this brief commercial break.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I could have bought my BMW anywhere, but at Freeman, I love my salesman, my BMW, and Club Freeman.
It's the Season of Love sales event. Enjoy exceptional offers at Braman BMW, West Palm Beach and Jupiter. BramanBMW.com.
The Live-In Palace at Morse Life is leasing luxury residences for ages 65 plus. Offering more than first-class amenities and white glove service, life at the Palace is like life aboard a luxury cruise ship with more things to enjoy life now. More fabulous food, more fun, more friends, more family, more freedom, more future. Morse Life is more life. Live it at the Palace. Start your fabulous future now. Call 561-537-3402.
There is a new brand of anti-Semitism taking hold in this country. Join us as we hear from an esteemed panel of leaders of the progressive movement to understand the language of this new anti-Semitism. Join us on Wednesday, April 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Mandel JCC in Palm Beach Gardens, or on Thursday, April 4th from 10 a.m. to noon at Indian Springs Country Club in Boynton Beach. Make your reservation by calling 561-242-6671 or by emailing jcrc@jewishpalmbeach.org. We're here with Rachel Gerrol, and I want to get this right. You're the co-founder of Nexus, a leading international network of millennial philanthropists and a Birthright alum. A hearty welcome to Mosaic, and you're also you were on the first Birthright experience 18 years ago. We're celebrating our 18th year of existence. Tell us about that opportunity.
Well, I went on the first Birthright trip, as you said, so I didn't know what to expect. Now, students know, they've seen pictures, their friends have gone, their relatives, but I showed up at Newark Airport with one Jewish parent who is very little Jewish, and one Christian parent, and many, many Christian family members, and I had no idea what to expect or if I was going to be accepted as someone from an interfaith family.
And how was your experience?
I have to tell you, I had never had a passport before. I'd never left the country before. I learned more about the world through the landscape of Israel than I ever could have dreamed, but mostly I learned more about myself than I ever would have sought out. I came back excited to be Jewish, to explore this history and this heritage that I'd never known anything about, and I was just glad that when I would call the Birthright office in New York and say, can we do Shabbat every night? Is that a thing? That they would be kind to me and give me answers. And they were really, really helpful.
So the Birthright office offered you opportunities to stay with your Judaism and help you expand it, correct?
Definitely. I think at that time there were thousands of us who came back who had really little connection to our Jewish identity before we went. And we came back and the temples and the synagogues and the JCCs weren't necessarily prepared at the time for hundreds of young people reaching out saying, I don't know anything about being Jewish except for the fact that I want to proudly be Jewish. And so Birthright really catered to us and gave us ways to celebrate holidays for the first time, ways to engage and learn more with no judgment that we hadn't the chance to explore our identities before.
And did that give you the motivation to start Nexus?
Exactly.
Tell us what that is.
So everyone says that birthright is a free trip, but I realized very quickly that it isn't. It's actually a gift. And that there are people who decide to allocate their own money to investing in people like me, hoping that we could learn something and feel a connection. And I believe that that's philanthropy. And so even when I didn't know what it meant to be Jewish, I knew that philanthropy was key, and giving other people gifts was key. And so in founding Nexus, I wished I could take young people all over the world, like I had gone to Birthright, and learn about other cultures and traditions and appreciate them. But I don't have the funds to do that, unfortunately. So I bring people from all over the world together here and in different countries all over the world every month to try to learn about philanthropy and the power of it to transform someone's life and the trajectory of their career, like Birthright did for me.
You also founded the Survival Initiative. You want to tell us about that?
Sure, yeah. This is right after I had led a Birthright trip about 5 years ago. And I learned through being on the board of the Jewish Federation in Greater Washington about the number of Holocaust survivors living below the poverty line in DC. And I realized that if we could tell young people that there were Holocaust survivors in our community feeling forgotten and alone, that the young people would heed that call. I knew they would stand up and say, I don't have the money to be a major philanthropist and have my name in a building, but I have the money to give someone a meal. And so the young Birthright alumni from that trip and I were successful in raising and catalyzing the raise of over $1 million and supporting our survivors in DC.
That's very powerful. What are your thoughts about millennials in general and the difference between this generation and prior generations in terms of their involvement?
So I think that the biggest difference between the millennial generation and generations before is that they grew up in a borderless world. They don't know the difference between reaching out to someone on WhatsApp or Facebook if they're in Israel or if they're in New Jersey. It's the same distance and the internet superhighway away. So people can feel intimately connected with those from really different traditions who they may never have met. I think that that speaks to how we think about philanthropy as millennials, because you can care about your community around you just as much as the people living in Sderot and the Rockets, because they all feel just as close.
So therefore, it's very easy to have a connection with wherever you want to be.
Exactly.
And what is your advice for young people that want to get involved?
For young people that want to get involved, I would say, don't limit your thinking to the offerings of any organization when you flip through their website or their brochures. I believe that the Jewish community is seeking young people who want to be the architects of new programs and new ideas. And I think young people should not be afraid to call up Federation execs or Birthright execs or anyone and say, here's an idea I have for a program to engage my generation. Because I believe that the Jewish community will only grow with the ideas and innovations coming from our youngest members.
Thank you very much. You're a wonderful spokesperson for Birthright. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll talk to millennials from the Palm Beaches who are transforming this community in their own unique ways. There are few experiences that bring a family closer than an adventure in the land of Israel. Enjoy the magic of Hanukkah with your children or grandchildren on Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's unforgettable, tailor-made journey through Israel's most magnificent sites and cities. It's happening December 22nd to 29th, 2019. Learn more and reserve your spot with the information on your screen.
Eat, drink, and enjoy Shabbat services at Temple Bethel's Friday night happenings. Cocktail reception and kosher dinner at 5:30, followed by our creative, musically driven Shabbat service. Traditional to progressive, the food and music change every Friday, and you'll want to stay for complimentary dessert.
Plan to spend the whole evening here, and you'll walk away and you'll say, wow, we're coming back next week. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat services at Temple Bethel, open to everyone. Join us every Friday night.
In celebration of Mosaic's 40th season, take a look at this classic clip from our archives.
What's a nice Jewish boy from the Bronx who was formerly a pre-med student doing in the field of entertainment?
Very well.
Yeah, well, I know you're doing well. How did you get there?
Well, I always wanted to be a doctor, but it was parental approval, that I really wanted. I do respect the profession very much, and everybody I went to college with is a doctor now, and everyone is an idiot. I remember them as 18-year-old idiots, and now they're all physicians. And these people
they're taking care of us.
They're great doctors. But people don't know what jerks they were. They're frozen in my mind at a certain age. I wanted to be a doctor, but I really found out that it made my dad happy and all that. When I got to college, a few things got in my way: calculus, physics, chemistry, organic chemistry, biology, zoology, reading, comprehension,
the whole bit.
Talent, inclination, and attendance, and behavior.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
We're back on location at Subculture Coffee Shop, downtown West Palm Beach. Joining us today is Justin Paul, Chair of Next Gen, and Ilana Rickel, Chair of Women's Division of Next Gen. Welcome to Mosaic.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, Federation has recently reimagined what Next Gen really is. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we felt that it was important to take a break. We needed to sit down and really think about what was important to our community and how we were going to best serve all of the young Jews that are coming to this area and to our community. And so we took the better part of 7 months to really sit down and talk about the things that worked and things that didn't work. And we came up with 4 divisions of Next Gen that we were going to hit on, 4 subgroups of the community. Those 4 groups are the Women's Division, Social Action, Connect, which is sort of your networking, and Families. And we feel that those really hit the important points that people are looking for when they're coming into the community and looking to expose themselves and their kids and their families to a Jewish life.
Tell me a little bit about the Women's Division. Why have a Women's Division?
That's a really good question. If you look around the country, women vote in higher numbers. This past year, women ran for elected positions in higher numbers than ever before in history. Women are pretty incredible, and I'm sure we can agree on that. And I think it's very important that we engage them in a way that they want to be engaged with. Women are usually by nature social creatures. We are passionate individuals, and we're seeking education and leadership opportunities. And so with Next Gen Women, as Justin said, we're in the process of kind of redefining who we're going to be and what we're going to do in the coming years. But what we hope to do is focus on those 3 aspects: the social, the education, and the leadership components.
And I would just say one thing off of that. One of the strengths of the Next Gen group prior to us reimagining was the former Koli Shah, which we're now calling Next Gen Women, and it was, in my opinion, the most successful subgroup of all of the young groups. These women, they like to see each other and get engaged with each other and their community. Yeah.
And I think in Judaism, there's a concept that women kind of set the tone of the household.
It's true in my house.
And unfortunately, 60% around of Jewish kids are not receiving any formal Jewish education. And so if we can engage women, the people setting the tone in their home, hopefully we can reach the next generation of Jews and kind of help continue our Jewish identity here in the community.
So that being said, we have an influx of new young Jewish families moving in droves to this community. So how do you engage these people, and what type of environment do you want to create for them?
It's an excellent question, and I think we're figuring it out together, honestly. I don't think there's one formula that works. We have looked actually at other communities around the country, ones that have been successful and ones that haven't been, and why and how they've been able to get their younger Jews involved in their community. It takes the right people that care about their community and want to instill those Jewish values in their homes and for their families. And so while that's a non-specific answer, it's really the truth. It's just getting the right people involved to really push the message.
So what type of activities are you doing?
Well, if I could just add one more comment to your previous question. I think the way that under Justin's leadership, the way we've restructured young adult engagement by having these different silos, but they're fluid. So you can come to a Next Gen Women event, but you can go to a Next Gen Connect event, and then you can go to a Next Gen Family event. And what we found is young adults in today's world don't always like to be fit into one category and one category only. And so what this new structure is allowing is for people to engage in the way where, in different ways at all
choices.
times.
They have choices.
Exactly.
We need our choices.
Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. I appreciate that. So tell us some of the events that you are putting on.
So our kickoff event is the relaunch event. It's the main event, and it's to get young adults together, 20s, 30s, and 40-year-olds in the community. We have over 115 people registered for this event. We're very excited.
Impressive.
Thank you. So that's the first event, but we have a slate of 8 events coming up with a redesigned website that is now on the Federation's website. The next event coming up is the Havdalah dinner, and I'll let Alana talk about that.
And then next month, we're hosting a Havdalah dinner at one of our leaders' homes. In the past, we've done the Shabbat dinner on a Friday night, and we've had amazing responses to that event. So this year, we're trying to mix it up a little bit to keep it fresh. So we'll be doing a Havdalah dinner on a Saturday night. One of the local rabbis will come and share her powerful story of why getting involved is so important.
That's really terrific. Explain to me, you're young Jewish professionals with families. You have a limited amount of free time. What drives you to devote your free time to Jewish organizations such as this?
So
giving back, I should say.
Yeah, for me, it's I've got these cups that I like to fill every day, and I've my family cup that I make sure I have to fill my family time, and I have my work cup. I've got to pay the bills and make sure that I can continue to move forward in my career. But I have this cup, the soul, and you have to do something that fills your soul. And for me, the Federation and giving back to the community, that's the thing that fills my soul. And so I really I enjoy the relationships that I've gained through the activities and the good work that we've done through the Federation and through Next Gen.
On that note, we have to stop. We've run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Coming up, young leaders from Israel's Zahar region join us to tell us how younger generations in Israel are making their unique mark in the Jewish state.
Morse Life Memory Care is making a difference in the lives of our residents with innovative programs that offer them a more rewarding future. Our goal is to give our residents more time. Time for programs that help cognition, for favorite foods in our open kitchen any time of day, for fun with new friends, and time for family, free from care and worry. Most importantly, for the compassion and dignity they deserve. Morse Life is more life. Rent your apartment today.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
We have over 100 Porsches out of the sun and rain in our 6-story parking garage.
So it's easy to find your dream car at Porsche West Palm Beach.
Porsche West Palm Beach, the #1 Porsche certified pre-owned center with the largest selection in Florida. Visit BremenPorsche.com.
There are few experiences that bring a family closer than an adventure in the land of Israel. Enjoy the magic of Hanukkah with your children or grandchildren on Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's unforgettable, tailor-made journey through Israel's most magnificent sites and cities. It's happening December 22nd to 29th, 2019. Learn more and reserve your spot with the information on your screen. Joining us today are 3 participants from the Emerging Leadership Program from the Zachar region in Israel, Mayan, Shana, and Tamar. Welcome to Mosaic.
Thank you.
Why are you involved in the ELP program? Shana, you want to start?
Sure. So I got involved as a mother, a citizen, a concerned individual who, the world isn't perfect, our community isn't perfect, and rather than just complaining about the things we don't like, I feel every one of us has a job to take what we see, and we're shown whatever imperfections we see for a reason in order to tackle them and make them better, and use whatever skills and tools we have to help do our part in fixing the world.
Mayan?
Well, community is important for me. I grew up in Rosh Pina, which is, Zachar is 3 municipalities. It's Tzfat, Chatzor, and Rosh Pina. And growing up there and coming back after many years away, knowing that I want to be involved in my community. I want to take responsibility for my community and to make this place better for us to live. As Shana said, we have a very busy life, and being part of something like this bring meaning to life out of work and the crazy race of living. So doing that is important for me.
Wonderful. How about your perspective, Tamar?
So growing up, I feel like that was part of my education, that if you see something that is missing, you need to be what's missing. And it's a quote by Trumpeldor. And that really shaped my life, volunteering since being a youth in the emergency service in Israel and on ambulances. And every stage of the way, I had to find my place to do something else as an extracurriculum for my not boring life at all. So I got to the ELP program as already being very active in the city. Somebody was like, here, you should join this as well. So it opened even better opportunities to give more to the city where I live in and the region, the whole region.
So how has the your ELP experience enriched your life now in your community? Can you give me an example?
Well, for me, I was also very active in volunteering as a child. My mom would take us to the nursing home and to soup kitchens and all of that. But I became a mother when I was 19, and I have 4 children. And through daily life, you get a little busy, and when the kids are very little especially, it takes a lot of your time and energy. And so for me, joining the ELP program really helped push me back into giving to my community.
Any other comments?
For us as a group, what we're doing in our region, we're doing sessions of limud, studying, to bring people together from 3 municipalities to meet and learn new things from Jewish texts.
It's very interesting that you're all involved. We have an issue here in the United States about we call your contemporaries millennials. I know you don't use that term in Israel. It's very difficult to get Jewish millennials involved in the community. What is your advice? Do you find that it's difficult for your contemporaries to become involved, or everybody wants to have a sense of community and involvement?
You want to answer?
Who wants to answer that?
I think that we have the same struggle in Israel as well. If we start by just thinking and looking at our schedules as parents for young families and young children, then our week is busy. And then you add to it work. So we basically work 2 jobs because we have work and we have home. And part of the way that, at least in my community, we try to help the situation, especially since where we live is very cold climate in the winter, and then you don't see people outside because nobody was walking in the street. So we basically created, it's like the JCC, but basically much smaller. It's a one room where we succeeded to bring mothers. So through the children, we succeed to connect the family, to have more people, and then you have a community.
I would like to add that I think that people like us are rare in Israel. If you were talking about millennials, we are very busy. We're working crazy hours, and we have, we are young families, yes. So we have babies at home to take care of, and it's very hard in this crazy race of life to stop and go and volunteer. But I think what make us what's connected between us all, and I think is the sense of responsibility. We want to take responsibility for us and for our children as well.
Yes, I think it's so interesting that there's such a similarity here in the States with what you're experiencing in Israel. Families, again, are stressed and pressured with life of children and work. And what we're doing here, especially in this area, is we are also trying to engage young families and young mothers and children, and that's the way, you give them an opportunity to bring them together, and that's the inroad to what comes next. Mm-hmm. So I really thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful experience visiting here.
Thank you. Looking forward to see you all in Israel for a visit.
Mosaic is brought to you by these generous sponsors and underwriters. Learn how you can support Mosaic by visiting jewishpalmbeach.org/mosaic.